Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to flip number 46, I believe this is. I am in my new book, the Midori Traveler's Notebook Insert, and I'm having fun using it. I've been doing things a lot differently, as I said in the last two flips. I don't do the header anymore. I just kind of either stamp the date wherever or write it in somewhere, or sometimes I forget it altogether. But yeah, I'm just, it's still, my style is still kind of the same, very colorful. I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Inks for the backgrounds a lot of times. I'm not drawing as much, but I'm still using, stickers and clip art and, tip-ins and things like that. So let's just get started. Here's where we left off, and this was, let me see, Whimsical Wednesday on this page here. So it was, Lynn's prompt was all about me, so I just picked a few things to put in here. I've been married for 24 years, so I've had 24 years of wedded bliss, and he's the one who gets it. Thank God. So, and we have two beautiful gems, which everybody knows. And I am 46 years young, although sometimes I feel like I'm 86. But anyway, that's a whole different story. I had 3 siblings growing up. I had 2 brothers and 1 sister. Sadly, one of my brothers passed away a few years ago. But yeah, I come from a family of 6. And I have hundreds of books. I mean, I don't think that there is probably not one room in my house that does not have a bookshelf of some type or another. And creating a little clip art down here, just showing that I have many projects that I am going to attempt this year. So that's just a few little things about me, most of which you guys already knew about. This day here, it was a very stressful day. I'm sorry. It just was. And so, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. Yeah, it was just a stressful day, and it wasn't stressful because my husband or myself, which is odd. But today's lesson for girls everywhere, okay? Yeah, my daughter was having some issues with, a friend that's not a friend, blah, blah, blah. And so I had found this meme here that I, had shown her. And it says, don't sacrifice your peace trying to point out someone's true colors. Lack of character always reveals itself in the end. So yeah, it was just a page of frustration and a reminder to give love. Not only a reminder to me, but also to my daughter. And this is the background here is more stress relief from my book of inner explosions is what I call it now. And so, yeah, it was just, just girls can be mean. You know what I'm saying? It was just a rough day for my poor daughter. And yeah, I just, I don't know what to say other than, cyberbullying sucks. And, yeah, all I can do is, is teach my daughter to be the bigger person. That's the lesson here today is to be the bigger person, in everything. And just, like my husband had told her as well, you need to decide whether you're going to surround yourself with positivity or surround yourself with people that are draining. So, yeah, that was today's lesson. But on a good note, there should always be a silver lining somewhere. On a good note, totally selfish good note, I managed a trip to Walmart all by myself. And it might not seem like much to anybody, but it's a huge victory for me because it's been about 5 years since I've even been in Walmart, much less driven there by myself. So yeah, that was a huge victory for me. So that was good. This day here, see, and in this book as well, like let me check back here. This was Wednesday, this was Thursday. Okay, this was Friday, this was Friday, and then I did the 5 on Friday separately. So in this book here, yeah, I'm not limiting myself to a 1-page spread, a 2-page spread, a whatever. It doesn't matter to me. If I feel like using up 4 pages for one day, then that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, it just all depends. So, and I have found as well, like I even skipped a whole weekend. Like I just didn't get to it, and I'm not going to fret about it anymore. I'm not going to sit for hours and, play catch up and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to do what I can when I can and take my own advice. So anyhow, this day here, it was a Friday and I had some free time, and so I was working on my NMAS glue book that I'm trying to do and follow along. It was inspired by Shannon Green here on YouTube, and so that day I had gotten the magazine she suggested, and it was an odd shape. It was a lovely shape. It was a square shape. And it was just like too big because I wanted to stick 2 books together like she did, and I didn't have 2 of the books that she had. So, yeah, anyway, I cut the Oklahoma book down, and so this is what was left over, these strips here, and what I decided to do with them is just paint them up, I did some jelly printing on them, and I didn't use stencils or anything like that. I just basically just plopped paint on my jelly plate and, smushed it around with my brayer and stuck the magazine clippings on them. So they came out really cute, I think. And then I used some paint pens and neon paint pens and, just did the design. So that was a lot of fun. And here are just the extra bits that were left over from gluing this down. And then in other news that day, my son's car was finally back from the shop, so we got to drive over and get him a much needed haircut. He did a great job driving, and it was starting to get cold here, which I know is a relative term, but cold here is like in the 50s. That's cold for us. So it was heading down toward that and into the upper 40s, and it was pouring rain. And so anyway, yeah, he did a great job driving. And then my poor big handsome, he came home early, not feeling well. So it was a couch night for him. And then my son and I had pizza for dinner, and we all just watched, Psych together. And my daughter was at the rodeo. We have a rodeo here every year, and she goes every year. And so, yeah, her and her boyfriend went, and she had a good time. It was very muddy because it had been raining all day, but they had a great time nonetheless. And then this day here was like, I actually did this page over the weekend, and this was the 5 on Friday. And some of the things were use something musical. So I found this clip from a magazine of a violin, and then I looked up a quote about music, and I glued some music paper on, as a background. And then it was use something with feathers. So I clipped out a bird from scrapbook paper, or use something associated with birds, wings, feathers, whatever. So I also had this paper with the pretty cages on it. I found a little quote about birds and stuck that on there, and then used some deep, rich colored scrapbook paper. So I used that, and then also used some Post-it notes. So these were some Post-it notes that I had, little flags that I had. So I used those as well. And yeah, so I had fun doing that. This is more kind of like an art journal-y type of page than anything else, but I had fun doing it. And then this day here was, oh yeah, like I said, so this was Friday, right? Or actually I did this over the weekend. I didn't document Saturday and Sunday. Don't really know why. Saturday we kind of, we went out shopping a little bit. We needed to run some errands. And then, on Sunday was basically just a lazy day, and I just didn't get a chance to work in my book. And so, yeah. And then Monday was really busy as well. And I really like the way that this page turned out. This is my son and his friend. They've been friends for plus or minus 13 years. I think it's been over 13 years. So, and then this up here is a picture of his kindergarten graduating class. So the same two boys here are now all grown up here. So I just thought that was so great. And so I just, I wrote a little bit about my son growing up so fast and the joy of being a mother. And then this, I found this in a magazine, Why Do We Fart? And I'm sorry, in my sick, twisted sense of humor, it was just so funny because like these two characters here, they're so funny and they think of the weirdest things. And so I just thought they would probably want to know why they fart, I don't know. I just thought it was really funny. And then take the plunge, kind of little play on words with the plunger there. And then I just, put in some positive, little quotes that I found in the magazine. And so, yeah, we went and did their senior pictures that day. So that was just bittersweet. And then this day here, this was actually Tuesday, and yeah, Calgon, take me away. My poor big handsome, he was home sick that day, and it has been really since like last May since he has spent an entire day home due to his illness. So yeah, it's been very frustrating. Last week he had another test that was done. And the doctors just keep coming back with the same thing. It's like you have chronic pancreatitis, you're too skinny, you need to eat, but that's all fine and dandy, Okay, well, it's not fine and dandy, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that's so frustrating for the two of us is that they're telling us all this stuff, yet not giving us any suggestions whatsoever as to how to deal with it, And my husband has not been able to eat very much solid food for a year now, probably. And yeah, it's a little old. And, so they keep telling him, you're losing weight, you're too skinny, oh, you need to eat more, but they don't tell him how to do that. They don't tell him what to eat or how to keep the weight on, or it's, oh my gosh, it's just so frustrating. So there I am right there. Seriously. And then this I found in a New Yorker magazine. And again, I have a sick, twisted sense of humor. And I just, while Big Handsome was on the couch, I was clipping newspaper clippings, or not newspaper, magazine clippings. And so here's one. It says, get well cards for moods. So here's one. In this time of angst, it says, I know, I'm sorry. This is just, it's not funny, but to me, I mean, my gosh, if I can't find the humor in things, then I'm a goner. That's just all there is to it. So it says, heard you're feeling rather low. Sometimes that's the way things go. Run yourself a nice hot bath and stay away from Sylvia Plath. And it's signed a friend. And I just got such a kick out of that. I know it's sick and twisted, but I thought it was so funny because for those of you who don't know who Sylvia Plath is, she was a poet, and she had some mental illness going on, and she wrote very dark poetry. She actually happens to be one of my daughter's favorite poets. And anyhow, so I just, putting that in there, it's like, I'm sure, I would guess not too many people know who Sylvia Plath is, but I just thought it was funny. Yeah, again, I'm sick and twisted. I realize that. So yeah, and then I found this one, Philosophy, Believe in Miracles, which I'm really trying hard to do. But it's hard, it's hard when your loved one is ill and you don't know what to do to help and you just watch him suffer. It's just really, really difficult. So I'm hoping that we will someday find out how to deal with this and get on with our lives and find some normalcy in it. So I'll leave you on that very happy note. Things will get better. They always do. And we're going to keep on keeping on because that is what we do. That's what we have to do. So, I'll leave you there. I did start a little tangle over here. This is actually going to be Wednesday's page, but I'm doing the Tangle Tuesday on a Wednesday. So sue me. Yeah, so that's how this book is going. I am liking it. It's different. It's something different for me, but I'm finding it, I'm finding it to be a kind of a nice turn, I guess, that I'm kind of making in my creating endeavors. I don't know. I like the difference in it. I like kind of letting loose a little bit more. I'm very much a person who, likes, straight lines, who likes, things a certain way. And, I like symmetry and all that kind of stuff. Well, this year I'm trying to more or less, to kind of let go and just kind of let my, creativity flow a little more and just kind of, I don't know, just be a little more loose, So anyhow, thank you for sharing your time with me and listening to my ramblings, and I will catch you next time, possibly on a flip.